Shalom. I want to turn this camera around for a second. All right. I want to show you something. And I'm on my tablet, not my phone, because I was thinking that the quality was better as far as video. But I want you to look at where I'm at. I am at the park of the local library. I'm like, I can't see because the sun is so bright, but I will be honest with you. This sun, I haven't seen it, oh my goodness, since that last really warm day we had. And it's just so beautiful here. It's glorious, like absolutely glorious. And so if you notice the title of this video, I forgot the first part, but the second part, love walking. I want to tell you what that is, because Abba was just, it was kind of like a secret share, you know, like it didn't come to me right away. But love walking is what I do almost every day. I take a walk and I pray for others often when I'm walking. And, you know, Abba says, love him with all of our heart, with all of our soul, with all of our strength and being, right? And Yahusha said, and love your neighbor, love your brother and sister. And for 2019, when we crossed over from 2018 into 2019, that was like the one thing that Abba really impressed on me, that this year, he wants to see us walking out, living out actively those two great commandments, just loving him and loving our brother and sisters, saved or unsaved. And I'm almost positive that most of us have been wounded by the church, wounded by a church, or wounded by people in a church or in authority positions in the church. And the reason that I'm so confident in that is because if you're watching this channel, most likely you're a chosen, most likely you're a lighthouse for Abba in this hour, and you're being raised up as a pillar with the last day's mission. And Abba has confirmed that to me. I started to doubt myself last night a little bit because I try not to listen to too many people. YouTube, you can get lost on YouTube. And what'll happen is if you, and I've done this, I've been guilty of this, but I'll open up my YouTube to specific channels that I subscribe to, that I consider my spiritual food or fellowship, one of the two, right? And you know how YouTube throws a million other things in your face to distract you. The enemy wants to cause chaos. He doesn't want us to receive a word. He doesn't want us to feel like we have fellowship. He doesn't want us to get focused, because if we get focused, we are powerful, right? And so I will open up YouTube, and sometimes I will be distracted to click on something that I am not subscribed to. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just another brother or sister in their ministry. Okay. And what I did last night was I did click on another brother, and he actually had an extremely powerful word for like yesterday. It was awesome. His whole testimony and confession and prophetic word was amazing. But the one thing he did say that Abba was showing him was that there were people in this hour who were doing things out of their own will or their own way, not anointed and not being obedient to Yehovah, you know, like starting YouTube channels just because, you know, just because they got that one prophetic word or that one thing. They're like, oh, I got to do this, and this is my calling, and I'm quitting my job and doing this, right? And he was saying that the Lord had showed him or given him a word to give out to others. And the word was, you know, I'm going to, he said that, I'm trying to say it the way he said it. He said, the Lord said he was going to burn out or fizzle out those ministries that were acting outside of his will. Like somebody might get a prophetic word, like I said, and then suddenly they're like, oh, I need to start a prophetic ministry. And they quit their job, they start their YouTube channel, and nothing is happening, no fruit from it. Right? And so that's what he said. And he said that Abba was fizzling those out so that the ones that he has called to those things in this hour will be able to rise. Okay, that made sense. And first, I was like, oh, he's talking about me. Because my YouTube channel is not popular. I don't have a ton of subscribers. I've always been okay with that though, because it's all in his purpose, his will, his time, not me. I'm not doing this because I want a YouTube channel. I'm not doing this because I even like keeping up with the YouTube channel. Honestly, I feel overwhelmed most of the time, because if you could see the downloads and the information that Abba has given me in the past year that is supposed to come out in different ways and in different seasons, you would be like, whoa, that would just drive me, I would be out of my mind because it's too much. And that's the way sometimes I do get overwhelmed, and then I put it before him and I'm like, okay, this is what you've given me and I don't know where to start, you know, and then Abba will slowly pull things out of the words that he's giving me over the past year and begin to put it together in either a blog post or a video. And then sometimes he does things like today, like, hey, just pop on for a second and talk about walking and praying for others. And that's what I'm doing. So I thought that word was for me. And I began to feel convicted in my spirit. And I was like, oh, so maybe I shouldn't have a YouTube channel. And then I was like, I quit my 3 jobs last May because Abba specifically told me to. He said, you will leave these places of employment. It's time for you to close the door on that. It's time for you to get out of the world. And I should do a testimony video about it, because I was working for a venue, a music venue, and I was working for a restaurant and another restaurant, and I was a florist at a very popular, or yes, popular, but very upscale florist. And yeah, he closed the door on those real fast, like when he quickened my spirit last year. So anyway, I knew that he told me to step away from that. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. There was no doubt in my mind. I never had I'm sorry, I just realized my tooth is really swollen. Anyway, I never had any doubt in my mind about that. But the YouTube channel thing kind of just accidentally happened, because what I originally started the channel for was my old business, Junkie Gypsy Inspirations, which was a blend of Christianity and the New Age. And Abba's like, delete now. And I had spent 4 years building my brand and my business. 4 years. Yeah, he had me delete all of it. It's like, get rid of it. And so anyway, that's why I have my YouTube channel. And if you go way back, you'll see like a talk that I did. And yeah, looked totally different. Totally different. And the crazy thing, it was only like this, let's see, it was almost 2 years ago now. So it wasn't that long ago. But I was a believer. I was just incorporating a lot of New Age practices into my walk with Abba, and he was not having it. So anyway, then I prayed about it, and I was like, nope, that's the enemy. I rebuke it. I'm like, get behind thee, Satan, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. I am not tolerating it. No, I'm done. You're not going to cause that. or put that thought in my mind. I will not have it. And so, you know, I think he just wants me to tell you to beware. Like, do not look. There's so many prophetic words being spewed onto YouTube right now. They're not bad, and it's not that they're not all true. It's just that Abba has specific people for specific people, right? Like the 5 that I hold close and dear to me that speak into my life and speak to what he needs to tell me, those channels are for me. They might not be for you. He might have 5 different people for you. So my suggestion is pray about it and let the Ruach HaKodesh lead you to the right ones, and then only listen to those that Abba puts before you, and don't go searching unless he gives you a reason to search, okay? Because we are in an hour of deception, and we should be praying. Every single day we wake up, we need to say, Abba, I ask for wisdom and discernment today. Please, Abba, do not let me be deceived, and do not let me walk through the door of temptation, because temptation is always in front of us. And whether we cross over or we stay behind that line is up to us. So we need to pray that he would keep us behind the line. And the other thing he's really pointing out to me right now is that our hearts must remain clean before him. So every day I pray, Abba, create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. These are all last day prayers. These are the ones we need to be praying on a daily basis, and for his shalom that surpasses all understanding in our heart and in our mind. We have to pray for that as well. Yeah. So little quick update on my hubby. All the footwork I did last week, his lawyer finally called me today. He has a bond hearing on Thursday. Please be in prayer. It really comes down to a judge looking and saying, okay, everything is settled in a zero balance, but you know what? The judge could say, well, I feel like he needs to serve out the whole 3 months sentence. Not looking at the truth of the facts and just looking at the top line that says a mandatory 3-month sentence. Or the judge could actually look at the case and be like, whoa, that's a lot. And now it's a zero balance. Yes, absolutely, let him go. So those are the options. It's all on the judge. All on the judge. So please pray that my husband would have the Ezra anointing, the anointing of unusual favor in front of this judge. That is what I'm praying for. Because his heart is changed. And Abba told me, if you saw my video from yesterday, the 2 together, a very powerful revelation that he gave me from a letter from Martin Luther King, 1963, and it sounds just like today. But anyway, he called my husband 7 years ago. He told him he was a vessel, and then life happened, right? Well, anyway, he's raising him up along with both of us. And now that my ministry, the Salt and Light Gypsy ministry, is geared for women, that is something that he told me a year ago. But my husband is going to be raised up as a voice in the last days, and used to defend those who are being unfairly treated, who are being persecuted in this country. In the things to come, he's going to use them as a voice. And so he said, your ministry is an Acts 2 ministry going forward. And yeah, and there's a couple of different words. If you saw the parable of the vineyard on Friday night, I am soaking up their teachings right now. The Nazarene, that's who we are. We are the Nazarene. But Abba also said, you are the ecclesia. So now let us be the ecclesia, the Nazarene, in these last days together. How exciting. And we are going to form house churches, and then we're going to take them underground and all this. I can't even go into it. There's this whole vision laid out of what we're going to be doing. And it's like Braveheart. in the woods. You know, it's gonna be awesome though. I'm really excited. So I can't go into detail with it, but I'm praying. Abba's leading me in certain things, and once my husband is free, he's quickly move in his life to put him where he needs to be. So I just want to thank you if you've been praying for us, if you have just followed my channel for whatever reason. I want you to know that I actively pray for people who watch my channel, who are on my Instagram. I pray for you because Abba has given me a heart to pray for others and intercede on others' behalf. Many of us have loved ones who are not saved, who do not know Yahusha. I constantly stand in the gap and pray and intercede. So I pray for you. I love you. And, you know, things are coming to a head, and, you know, it's going to get as joyful and exciting as things are. It's also going to get tragically terrifying for those who do not know Messiah, right? So, yeah. And we need to be in worship, praise and worship when the enemy is at our feet. We need to be in praise and worship. It's the quickest thing that gets rid of them, you know? Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Abba. Oh, the sun is so warm. I can't believe they're trying to block it. Oh. All right, so I will leave you while the sun is still shining. I pray you have a beautiful day, and I love you, and I'm praying for you.